Okay. Now I'm recording, and then we're here with Phil Carlson from HC Dirt Works and all the boards here. It's 5:34. As I said, I'm having some tummy issues. I'm going to step away for a moment and might have to step away intermittently, but please proceed.
Sounds good. Not for you though. Um, so Phil, you can hear me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, I know you talked to Michaela, but we wanted to make sure that we had something in the books for the gradings. I know you mentioned it, but do you have time frames or have things already reserved, or what are you thinking?
You mean about the gradings for as far as the maintenance goes?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll be out there on the 6th starting.
July 6th.
Yeah, the dates I initially gave are
Are
good
working?
as of right now. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So next Monday, the blade will get dropped off in the morning early, and then I'll get out there and start working the roads.
Okay. Um, and then we were talking about our problem areas, and is there any way to do like add gravel or do any kind of um, anything more than maintenance during that time, or do you think it has to be a whole separate project? We're trying to save on the mobility thing.
Yeah. So the problem with that, I mean, now on this one, it's already too late. I mean, we're literally talking 4 days,
Mm-hmm.
5 days away.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to adding material, we need to have a blade out there, which takes an operator, a roller packer, which takes an operator. Depending on how much material you guys want to lay, depends on how many trucks. But if we're talking 2 miles of road, you're talking at least 10 trucks, 7 loads a day per truck. Try to hit, 72 to 73 loads per day. And then you have to have somebody as a flagger, letting traffic know that they're coming up on that stuff. And because it's quite an operation. It's not, just fly by the seat of your pants kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to get drivers lined out, trucks lined out, equipment lined out.
Okay. So what's realistic if we were to add some material? What are you thinking? What time would be best, I guess? If you're
Well,
grading now.
it depends on if you guys want to do it. Like I talked to Michaela, it's not cheap, and I got the best possible rate on the material.
Mhm.
We went with the best trucking company, which actually is HPC. And they're even going to have to get some subs in. There's not a lot of people that have just 10 trucks sitting around ready to go. So we'll have to use some subs when it comes to that. But 2 miles of road at 6 inches. Hold on, I'm trying to look through my notes here. I can't remember if it's 4. Okay, 6 inches will get you at 5.5 miles a day, which will take roughly 4 days to do the 2 miles. Now, the proposal I submitted to you guys on that
Mhm.
is a by the day on the roller packer and the blade and those two operators and the flagger, which was I had to come home and just grab stuff. So I'm trying to look and see what I have here.
Was it all grouped together?
No,
The cost?
so
Okay.
the tonnage of the material was the
Mhm.
2260 a ton. If you multiply that by 2,000, that's a day. We can probably lay 2,000 tons a day. That would land you at $45,200 a day. And
Mhm.
that covers the trucking, the material. And if you do 2 miles, you multiply that by 4, that's roughly,
A lot.
4 days times 2,000 tons a day at 2260, it lands you at about 180,000.
Yeah.
The
Definitely not our budget.
Right. Yeah, the whole thing, if we did 2 miles, solid at, you know, 6 inches, what I would suggest, you're going to land just right over $201,000. And that's, I mean, I shopped it out to 3 different trucking companies. I mean, that's a lot of trucks. And the biggest problem you guys have is it's easily 3.5 hours round trip for one truck, one load. That's what kills those projects that are way out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. So I guess if we could just focus our efforts, I don't know how we would ever do 2 miles. That must be old numbers from long ago. But I don't know. Would you just start at the entrance there, or what would you think?
Talking to Michaela, she said that, which I wasn't privy to, that in all the years past that she's been the representative of your guys' association, it seemed like, and she was going to go back through documentation from what I understood, but that the problem area is always Bandimere. That's where everybody hits, but that's also the road that always gets the most attention, which is understandable. That will make other homeowners, you know, upset that that's the road that constantly gets hit. I told her I thought Bandimere was my number one, and that Diamond B, Buckshot, and then the road that connects to Diamond B, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. We drove it today, actually. Those are the 3 roads that are strong combined together. Those are number 2 for me. Buckshot is straight sandstone exposed everywhere. Diamond B is very low in a lot of places, and it's very hilly, and the grade of things definitely need improvement with height. The only way you accomplish that is by adding solid actual material that's road base, not sand. I've actually been out on the ranch for the last 2.5 weeks on a project, and Bandimere, I mean, 2 weeks ago, it was holding up for the most part. But even this morning when I went out there, all that sand, because that's all it is sub base, is all pushed off to the sides again. Because everybody running down that road, it just mushes out. And you can never get that. There's no binder on any of your guys' road, which is typically clay. There's no road base. And I know I've heard before that there's been road base applied, but there's not road base out there. And that's why nothing's holding in place once it's getting shaped up. And I think if you guys were to see road base out there, actual road base that's been engineered and tested and that you pay for and put on the road, that doesn't come from a contact that you know, or an ag company or a arborist company, you know, that comes from an actual aggregate pit that sells road base and does it for a living, you're going to find a huge difference. But I mean, it's not going to be cheap. It's just not. And you guys have a lot of road out there that needs improvement.
Seems like every road needs material when I drove it.
Yep.
But we've heard that with every road grader, every contractor. So, obviously I live on Diamond B, so I noticed that, and this happened last year when we had rain, that hill on the S curves is eroding. It did this last year, but it's both sides. I don't remember if it was both sides. And I don't know what the answer is, because it just looks like it's like sand running down the side.
Yep.
It was concerned, like we brought up that last year, and that it could potentially wash out the road. They don't do something. So
Yeah,
I hate to
saw
bring it
that
up because
today.
it's my like road, but I drove the ranch twice, and that seemed like the most erosion, and I don't know what it takes to fix it.
Well, so I dug that ditch, which actually eroded a bunch out on, if you're going up that hill headed north on the left side, that's where a lot of that erosion was, in that ditch. It looked like you guys got a lot of rainfall, because all of my
We did.
equipment this morning, well, it looked like I took it to a car wash. And it all on the location I'm on, it all sunk about an inch just sitting there. And it's been sitting there for a little while through the weekend. But the only way you're going to prevent any of that is to get height and correct material. Road base, if we added the 6 inches to that hill, the rainwater has nowhere else to go on that road. And you have that clay and that binder that's holding it tight, and it'll just flow down those ditches. The problem is when I tried to dig that ditch, I spent, quite a bit of time on that. You can't get 3-4 inches deep, and you're pulling out boulders this big, and then you're trying to fill holes from boulders, and then you're trying to chase a boulder around to, where do I put this boulder? And the only way you guys are going to improve that is road base. I know it's repetitive, and I know I sound like a parrot, but so I'll just kind of back up a little. The project I'm on, I've had 2 other operators that have been operating for a significant amount of time. Both of them have ran blades, built rig pads, have a lot of the same background I have. And I just asked them, what do you think is on these roads? And they're like, it's sub base at best, both of them. And they both work full time for different construction companies that did the dam on Sealy Lake. They build 90% of the pads in the DJ Basin, all the road access roads. They just finished up a huge pond project for JBS out of Greeley. These guys work massive civil jobs and massive oil and gas. And that was the thing that came out of their mouth. And I said nothing to them. And you can take that for what it is, but it was very apparent to them. It's sand and gravel at best. There is no binder. It's sub-base. Go way down.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I might have missed it being away for a couple of minutes, but how do we get our most bang for the buck here then?
I mean, we could do a mile of road, and that cuts that, 200 and some thousand to 100 and some thousand. But that, I drove today and I clocked it from the north side of Diamond B down to where you take a left on the attached road. And then I don't have my map in front of me, but it's that big L shape after the big S curve and hill. And then you hit that point at south, take a left, and that's exactly 2 miles. So if we did from that intersection north of Diamond B, that would be a mile, and that would conquer that hill and get a little of that. It might be a little over a mile, but I think the end was 2.4 when I clocked it. And then tomorrow when I go out there, I was planning on coming in from the south side of Diamond B to measure that other portion to see how long that is. But I don't know. I don't know how you get the most bang for your buck, because at the end of the day, it's not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know what you guys spent just that little quarter-mile stretch or whatever that is at the entrance last year, whenever you guys did that. That's obviously by far.
We spent $14,000 on that little section.
Okay. And what material did you guys put on there?
That was the big chunky stuff that you see.
Granite?
It was granite road base from the Harriman pit over out of Laramie.
All the way from Laramie.
Yep.
However, they didn't charge us for labor on the second half. So I guess that labor cost would. So they laid half and basically ran out of material. And so to kind of soften the blow, we paid for the material, but not the labor.
Oh, okay.
For the second half. Okay. So I don't know what that would cost, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, granite road base in general is not cheap. Dally, go in.
We knew it was more expensive. We were hoping it would be worth it. That's the entrance, so everyone goes in there.
Well, it's holding up the best so far out of everything. I mean, but I also hit it 3 times. And that's the tough spot, is go lay down. Sorry, my dogs are acting crazy here. Yeah, I mean, it's not cheap. And at the end of the day, we all know I'm not some massive civil excavation company. And obviously this stuff is, I have to bring people in on it. So on my end, there's no real shortcuts of, I called several different places. I called Simon Kroll, Knife River, Rams, and I went with the cheapest option, which is the person I usually go with because they always give me the best numbers on material. The trucking, the equipment, the extra operators is a very well-known company to me that I've used before. I've done work for them. They've done work with me. They had the best trucking numbers out of the 3 companies I contacted. So, it's one of those things that, and last year's fuel prices to this year's fuel prices are a world of difference. I mean, everything's different. So that's where it's tough.
Harry, I don't know if you were here when he basically said it's cost-wise around 45,000 half a mile.
Okay.
Well,
Well, that's just the material.
Oh, so what do you think it would be? Ballpark. I mean,
For a half mile, I'd have to
yeah,
break those numbers down, and I don't have a calculator because I have everything by 2 miles right now.
gotcha. Well, we definitely can't afford 2 miles.
Yeah.
So we may have to look into bidding out, obviously, something a lot less. See what we can do this year, to add material somewhere at least.
Yep. No, that's understandable. I think either way you go, it's going to end up close to the same amount. I mean, and by all means, I encourage bidding it out with somebody else. Maybe somebody else, can beat that number. But I think at the end of the day, it's about applying it correctly and, getting actual material, not, somebody telling you, oh, this is road based, but it's sand and rock. Just a forewarning.
Phil, do you think that the economy in the next 2 to 3 months is going to get better? You might see the prices go down a little bit after.
Yeah.
I mean, after the political, all the political stuff that's been going on that had been driving our gas prices up and everything up. Now you see a slight decrease immediately after. Do you think it might go down even more in the next 2 months and it might change the price?
It may. I can't tell you definitely that it's going to, but I would say, from what I was paying for trucking last year to what I'm paying for trucking this year is significantly different. Last year I was around that 160. This year, most trucking companies, are 170 plus, for the most part. And we might see some of that number come down. Some of the material might come down in numbers, but it just, I can't predict the future, right? But I would hope so, because I mean, it's hurting my pocketbook too. So, and as is everybody.
What if we do a maintenance this month if possible? I don't know if you guys already discussed this.
Yeah, he's coming
Okay.
Monday.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Mhm.
And then project out for the second maintenance with a quotation for, road work.
Are you saying doing it at the same time as the second grading? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I am. Instead of coming back like a separate time to do, you know, laying down gravel and all that other stuff to do it concurrently with road maintenance, the second road maintenance, and then um, maybe within the next, 2 months, 3 months, the price of certainly I think the projection is the price of petrol is going to go down, and maybe some other materials might go down as well. Is that
Yeah,
is that a possibility?
most definitely. I mean, I think that's a great idea. I'm supposed to be back out there in September. Um, we can start looking at it end of July. I can start, you know, getting feelers out to these companies again and seeing, what they're looking at. Part of it may be too, and we see it all the time in the industry, is things go up this time of year. It's no different than, if you run out of propane in the middle of December, they're going to upcharge you quite a bit because that's their peak season. And that's kind of where we're at right now. I mean, it took forever for these trucking companies to get bids back to me on this project because of everybody's busy, you know. So yeah, I think we can revisit it, end of July. I can reach out to everybody and say, hey, if we do this in September, does that change numbers for you at all? What are we seeing on your guys' end? I'm all for it. I mean, it takes me a little bit of time, but I can definitely do the reach out again.
I'd appreciate that. I think that I'm hopeful for a little bit better outcome.
Yeah.
Phil, what are you anticipating with your grading on Monday? What are you really going to be able to accomplish because of the lack of material and all the other difficulties that have arisen in the last couple of years? What's your goal? What do you anticipate getting accomplished?
Keep getting the roads, the material up to the top. I know it pushes out in some places, but really just knocking down the washboards that I can without cutting into rock, filling in areas where I'm able to, and just try to keep it, passable for now. Like I said in previous meetings, in all honesty, the only way you guys with what you have currently would ever get those roads to where they're always good all the time is if you had a blade hand and a blade and a mechanic running those roads all day, every day. No different than the county. But even the county struggles. I went out there right after the county hit that road that's connected to your guys' entryway. They had hit it. Days later, it's right back to where it was. It's not as bad, but I mean, it's not great to be pulling equipment down either. And I've been going up and down it quite a bit lately. So, I mean, it's your basic maintenance, pulling some material, getting it back into the middle, getting the roads back into better shape that I can, and go from there. But, I can't promise you guys the world with what is there. And I've had many people, say that are out there that have talked to me that they need to get material on the roads, but it's not cheap. Mm-hmm. And by all means, bid it out to other people. And I promise you their numbers are going to be pretty close. It's not, a lot of people won't even, typically look at, those are numbers that I got built based off of 25 miles of road. Okay. That's the one thing I want everybody to understand. When I put this out, I said, hey, this is a potential for 25 miles of road. Give me your best numbers. This year, we could potentially be doing 2 until we cover, following year, do another 2, cover all 25 miles. And so those were the numbers I got. I like the idea of, addressing it again later on in the year, see if people are, slowing down, willing to give a little bit better a deal, fuel prices go down, etc. But Yeah.
So basically what I hear being said is we're putting a Band-Aid on a broken arm.
Yeah, unfortunately. I would say so. And I think that broken arm's gonna stay broken because the Band-Aid's not, you know, it's tough. Those roads are tough out there. I mean, I think that they're a lot better than what they were when I first started hitting them. They seem to be holding up a little bit better. The material is getting pushed in a little bit better. The potholes aren't as bad as they were. The ruts aren't as bad as they were. They're still coming back, but that's because you have material that's shifting and moving constantly. If you
Right.
had a binder, you know, it would heal. But even then, it's going to take time to heal it. There's spots out there that are just, I can't even explain it to you. It's tough. So
That makes sense.
Okay, so you're coming out on Monday and doing it.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic.
I do want to ask you real quick, Phil, because there's been some talk on social media, and we would like to put out basically all of our communication with you because that might clear up some of the misinformation. Are you okay with that? I just
Yep.
thought it'd be nice to ask you.
Yeah, like I said in my email, I've received several phone calls, people stopping me as I'm out there. I'm obviously taking my company truck out there. I've been hauling equipment to and from. Had a couple residents stop me just to talk to me, ask me what my recommendations were because they hadn't heard anything, et cetera, et cetera. I know those things take time, but I'm going to tell you guys no different than what I've told them. I've told them the exact same that I've told you guys. There's no variation between the two. So there are people out there that do have the knowledge. There are some of the people out there that do what I do and have done what I've done that I've talked to that agree wholeheartedly. So yeah, put it out there. I mean, I'm fine with it because at the end of the day, the one thing everybody needs to remember, right? I don't know what everybody does for a profession, but I do dirt work. I've done excavation since I was knee high, right? And rock quarries, etc. So if a person's a doctor, I'm not going to question if they're telling me, I have cancer and I need to get that looked at or removed or whatever. My grandfather was a physician. He did great work, and that was his field. This is my field. If you're a bank teller, that you do numbers, that's your thing. But I'm going to tell people what I think, and they need to hear it, and they need to know, because it's their money at the end of the day that this is going to. So it's no different than the job I'm on now on the foundation. The material, in my opinion, is very questionable. I made that very clear. We got the engineer out there. The engineer looked at it. Engineer signing off on the material because I suggested we add road base because what we're in right now, I'm not comfortable as a dirt guy. But the engineer's signing off on it, so it's out of my hands at that in time. If he's okay with it, everything falls on him now. So, but I'll give my suggestions till I'm blue in the face.
Okay, I don't have any other questions. Thank you for your time. Do you guys have any other questions or comments?
Can't really. I think I got them all. If I remember, I'll shoot it to Michaela.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's good. We can put out that you'll be here Monday. Are you going to do the same route? Are you thinking?
I'm probably going to go reverse of what I did.
Okay. So on the west side. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So when I do roads, I go one direction one time, the other direction the other time. It just helps my ADD, dyslexia, whatever you want to call it. It's just how I was taught, left to right, right to left when you're doing excavation. So, or dirt work of any kind. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the left. I'll I'm probably going to hit the entry road last this time. But I am going to head down Vandermeer, work that side to the left, west, and then I'll work my way to the east.
I know you said this before, but we see material in the ditches, and I thought you said that we can't pull everything because of the natural soil with inside of it. Is that right? I don't want to say the wrong
Correct.
thing.
Correct. There's a
Because
lot of those ditches that I've gone to pull
Mhm.
have a lot of native material in it because it all just got squished down to native and all got blended and pushed to the side. If it's stuff that I think I can pull, I'm going to pull it. I'm going to work everything from the left of the road to the right of the road this time. Last time I did right to left or hit the middle to pull it all. But yeah, if there's areas that I'm not comfortable with putting native soil on there, because I've also driven your guys' roads when you get moisture, I don't want to make it any stickier and slimier than it already is.
I thought you said that, but I didn't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah. Or if there's areas where the road is so much further than the grade of the pasture, I'm not going to put a ditch there because it's just going to overflow that ditch and then wash out the road. You just build up pressure and then it just pushes somewhere at some point in time.
Okay.
So
I think that was something that, like, even for myself, when I drove, I was like, okay, there's a ditch on this side, but there's not on this side. I assume there was a reason for it, but I don't know. I'm assuming it had to do something to do with the level of the road
well, and if you guys ever pull up on a county road maintainer, they always do the exact same thing. They pull from one side and go to the other. Now, the difference is that you guys see there's always ditches on both sides of the roads because the roads are feet higher than everything else around them, right? So that's why you constantly see the ditch. But if you ever get behind one of them, watch them and they'll pull the ditch on one side, move it to the middle, and then move it to the other side. And then the next time they come, they'll start on the opposite side, pull it, move it to the middle, move it to the other side. That's how you constantly keep your crown going back and forth. It's not just tearing it all up. Because the biggest problem too, let's say you guys didn't have the sandstone you have. Let's say your roads were straight sand and what you guys see majority of the time, right? I could, in theory, pull both ditches, make them 2 feet deep and pull everything up onto the road and give you height. But the problem we would run into now is your roads would go from this wide to this wide. Because as you grow that height, you get narrower. And that's why with adding the road base, because they are so low right now, our ditches could start out as far as we want them to meet that 6 inches. And we could have an actual ditch on each side. But that material is not there to do that with.
Okay. Because I'll be honest with you, I noticed that too, and I'm like, oh, he knows what he's doing, but I don't understand why there's no ditch over here.
Yeah.
There's got to be something to do with it. But I noticed that the moisture that we did get did go down where they were supposed to go this time, so that was nice.
Okay. Carrie, do you have anything else? Carrie, do you have anything else?
I don't. I think it's been the same story ever since Phil has started. We know there's no material to work with, and for whatever reason, it's not being brought in. So it is what it is.
Okay. Steve and Melissa, do you have anything? You both are on mute.
No, I'm all set. I appreciate your time, Phil. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I don't have anything else.
The other thing as well, and I just want to make this clear, right? I can't, in these 3 projects we've set with you guys, I can't repair years of damage to roads in, 3-4 weeks. It just is not possible. There's nobody out there that can do it. I just want to make that very clear. And I think that's honestly kind of where some of my frustration has come from, is I beat up on myself. But, I want it to be the very best, but I can only work with what I have. So I did want to make that clear.
Understood. I think we all, well, at least I recognize that there is no material to actually work with. That's abundantly clear with your explanation, and then just driving the roads to and from whenever we drive in and out. It's abundantly clear that we actually need the material. So, what is shocking is the price. So,
Yeah.
but we have been going on this price that was priced out in 2011 or 2012.
So I was wondering.
Yeah.
So that's well over 15 years or so, whatever that might be. Imagine how much it could be right now. It kind of tracks with me.
Yeah.
So, okay. All
Well,
right.
and I will tell you, typically, if I was just ordering, like if one of you guys called me and was like, hey, I need you to come do my driveway and I want to add road base to it, I could call out, right? I probably need 2 or 3 truckloads, but I'd probably be paying $27 to $29 a ton delivered versus the 22. So, I do want you guys to realize that, you can call around and ask what road base is running right now, and it's not cheap. And it versus last year, I was literally paying $25 a ton and on smaller projects and stuff. So everything is going up, and it's sad to see, and it's hard. It's killing a lot of projects for me. It's killing a lot of projects for a lot of people, actually. So
Um, Phil, I know that you are asking and quoting out for the road base, like the number 5, right? Uh, but uh, what is the lesser like one step under that? What would that be?
it'd
I
be
don't know.
class 4. Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be
class
your
4.
standard residential road base. That the only difference is the size of the aggregate. Class 5 is 3/4 and bigger aggregate. Class 4 is 3/4 and smaller. But depending on where we place this, I would say it's probably better to go with the class 5.
Oh, undoubtedly, undoubtedly, right? I
Yeah.
agree. But apparently we have champagne tastes on, seltzer water budget,
Hey, I hear you. I drink from a garden hose, so
right? Okay, so it's just actually something for us to consider, a consideration.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you. Oh, if so I think that's it. I guess my last question is, I know that you said it was totally okay to release any of the communications we've had with you, emails, and stuff like the video too.
Yep. Video, voice, audio.
Okay,
Look,
all right.
at the end of the day, you guys are the customer, and if you want to release that to your community, I'm okay with that. And that's why I've made it very clear people can call me, and they have, and I'm okay with that.
Okay, thank you very much for that clarification.
Yep.
All right, I think that's it. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. All righty.
All right.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.